I want to start this video by saying that I am perfectly aware that I did not cause my son's autism. I know that objectively. And I was actually talking to my husband about this because I think it's funny how, there's all these theories that are coming up and that have been around, about, vaccines and your pregnancy and medication that you take, and if you weren't like present with your child, like this and that. And I am a mother of three. Two of my kids are neurotypical and my 6-year-old son is autistic, and he's my first. And when I tell you that I was the healthiest person in my pregnancy, like, I'm not exaggerating, okay? I did all the things all the things to make sure that I had like the healthiest pregnancy. I was super aware. It was the first time, being pregnant. As a first time mom with my son, I was like completely present. I had a beautiful, very easy pregnancy. I had an amazing postpartum with my son. We bonded and I was just so happy, and everything was like so smooth, and I was constantly, taking him on walks and playing with him and doing all the things. I also love, teaching, and I love children. So, I did tons of research on development, and I was such a present mom with my son. I mean, I don't want to say perfect because nobody's perfect, but it was just everything was just like so beautiful, and I did everything right. And he's autistic. He has autism. With my second, there were so many like life things happening. I had a really stressful pregnancy. I had a very stressful postpartum. I now had my son who was just diagnosed as being autistic, so I was really stressed out when she was first born, and all these things were happening, and she's neurotypical. She's thriving. Like, she's so smart and happy and, doing all the things. And, with me being the same exact mom, my third, I mean, if you have you have a lot of children, like, it gets chaotic, and she's neurotypical. So like, I know that I didn't do anything wrong to cause my son's autism. I think it's just something that happens. But that being said, the guilt persists. The guilt persists, and the emotional load is so present. And it's not so much because I feel like I did something wrong, but it's more the fact that I made him, I made him. All of him. The good and the difficult. I made him. I'm his mom. I brought him to this world, and I feel this giant responsibility to make sure that he's okay because of that. And when I see him struggle, when I see him in distress and anxious, I feel this terrible guilt. Not so much because I caused it, but because I can't take it away. There's times when my son looks at me in desperation, when sometimes he just echoes and repeats, "Mommy, mommy, mommy," when he's not okay. And he just grabs onto me, and I can just see his desperation of trying to understand what's going on in his little head and asking me to somehow fix it when he can't verbalize it, when perhaps he can't even understand it. And so many times I can't. And that guilt doesn't go away. So it's hard. It's hard. I know I didn't cause his autism, but I did create him. And nobody tells me how to do this. Nobody prepared me for this. Nobody gives me the magic solution. And I know in the bottom of my heart that I was meant to be his mom. But sometimes I just wish I knew how to do it right. Simple as that.